The sun beat down hard on the dusty town square as the auctioneer's voice rang out. Next up, Evelyn Walker. Strong, able, but stubborn. Refuses to cook or tend house like a proper lady. Starting bid. The young woman stood trembling, but her chin was high. Tears filled her eyes, not from fear, but fury. She wasn't livestock. She wasn't some man's servant. She would rather die than be forced into another cage. A murmur swept through the crowd. Most men leaned in eagerly. A woman who didn't obey. They'd break her, but one man didn't join the laughter. A tall rancher, broad-shouldered with dust still on his boots, stepped forward. "How much to end this auction?" he asked flatly. The auctioneer blinked. "To end it? Well, that depends. You planning to tame her, sir?" The rancher's jaw tightened. He looked at Evelyn, not like a prize, but like a person. "No," he said, voice steady. "I'm planning to set her free. She can live on my land and answer to no man, not even me." The crowd erupted in confusion. The auctioneer sputtered. Evelyn stared at him, stunned. The rancher removed his hat and held out his hand, not demanding but offering. "You don't owe me anything," he said quietly. "But if you'd rather walk free than be sold, I'll stand between you and anyone who tries to claim you."
The wagon wheels creaked steadily as Silas guided the reins. The horses trotting along the winding trail toward his ranch. The sun had begun to sink behind the mesas, turning the sky a soft gold. Elena sat beside him, her hands folded tightly in her lap. Every so often she glanced at him. Unsure if she should speak, Silas didn't push her. He kept his tone gentle as he finally asked, "Was that man truly your husband?" She hesitated. "By law, yes. By love, never." He frowned. "What happened?" Elena swallowed hard. "My father was deep in debt. He'd traded me. Thought I'd be better off married than seeing him jailed." She gave a bitter laugh. "Turns out he traded me into another kind of jail." Silas's hands tightened around the reins. "Did he hurt you?" "When I refused to cook after he struck me. He called me ungrateful, said I had no right to deny him, said I ought to be sold to someone who'd make use of me." Her voice cracked. "I would rather died." Silas was quiet for a moment. Then he said softly, "You won't be hurt in my home. Not by me. Not by anyone." They reached Twin Creek Ranch as twilight settled. A peaceful stretch of land-rolling fields. A small barn, a corral of horses. A weathered but sturdy farmhouse stood ahead. Silas hopped down first and offered Elena his hand. She hesitated, then took it. "I'll show you the house," he said. "You can choose whichever room you like. You're not a servant here." As they stepped inside, the warmth of the lantern-lit interior surprised her. It was simple but clean. There were books on a shelf, a handmade quilt on a rocking chair, a small wooden table with mismatched chairs. "This place," Elena whispered, "it feels alive." Silas chuckled softly. "Hard to keep a home tidy when you live alone." "I do what I can." She looked at him, surprise flickering in her eyes. "You live alone?" He nodded. "Always have." She studied him quietly. "Why'd you help me today?" "You could have ignored it." Silas leaned against the table, arms crossed loosely. "Because I've seen too many people treated like burdens instead of humans. I won't stand for it on my land or in my town." Silence rested between them, but it wasn't heavy. It was peaceful after a while. Silas spoke again. "There's stew on the stove. Made it this morning. You don't have to eat if you're not hungry, but it's there." Elena's stomach rumbled softly. Betraying her, she flushed. Silas smiled faintly. "I'll take that as a yes." He filled 2 bowls and set them on the table as she lifted her spoon. Her hands trembled slightly. She paused. "I don't have to earn this?" "No," he said firmly. "In this house, food isn't bought with obedience." The words broke something in her. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she tried to eat. Silas looked pained. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you." "You didn't," she whispered. "It's just kindness feels strange." Silas nodded. "It'll stop feeling strange soon." "You didn't," she whispered. "It's just kindness feels strange." Silas nodded. "It'll stop feeling strange soon." That night, Elena chose a room upstairs. Silas left a lantern burning in the hallway in case she woke in fear. As she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, she thought of the man downstairs, quiet, strong, and entirely unlike anyone she'd ever known. For the first time in years, she slept without dread, but outside, in the shadows beyond the ranch fence, someone else was watching. Elena's husband had not taken his humiliation lightly, and he was not done with her.